Hi, and welcome back to the third episode, or again, call them whatever you want to call them. I appreciate you guys continuing to watch, and I apologize because at times I feel a little embarrassed doing this, but on the same token, I feel that if it generates a few more donations for St. Baldrick's, then it was definitely worth it. So thanks again for coming back, and I appreciate you guys listening to these stories. So this episode is going to be, it's going to talk about from basically the end of summer camp to going through my first game and how I got onto the field. And my goal going into the season, as I said, was to play from day one. And the biggest thing for me was I thought if I could start from that first game on, I get to play in those first three games in the three best stadiums that I thought in the country, or three of the best stadiums in the country. The first being obviously Notre Dame Stadium. It's second to none. I love that place so much. The second one being Happy Valley against Penn State, and it was a night game, and it was scheduled to be a whiteout, so that would have been an incredible experience. And then finally, the Big House against Michigan. I mean, you'd be hard pressed to find three better stadiums in the country to start your career off on. So obviously, like I said, I wasn't starting in the first game. We played Georgia Tech. It was at Notre Dame. I dressed and was on the sidelines and everything. And it was a tough game for us, but we battled tough and ended up losing that game. And so then the next week we played Penn State, and Penn State had a gunner that was really good. And so what they did with me is they said, hey, Mike, we need a good gunner. Can you go and you'll be this guy, you'll put on this jersey, and we're going to work against you. And so I said, absolutely, I'd love to do that. And so in the back of my head, I said, if I have a really solid week, hopefully I'll be Scout Team Player of the Week. And through being Scout Team Player of the Week, you get to travel with the team. And if I just got to be on the sidelines for the whiteout, I thought that'd be an unbelievable experience. And so I'd done real well at gunner and beaten it pretty much every time down. And it was funny, the coaches got frustrated a little bit because they saw that if I was beating him, what was this kid from Penn State going to do? And people were telling me all week, you're having a great week on special teams, and you're also doing well on scout team defense. And I was getting excited because I thought that, hey, I might have a shot at getting out there and going to see Happy Valley. And so we found out on Thursdays, Coach Weiss at the end of practice announces the Scout Team Player of the Week, and I was on pins and needles waiting to hear hopefully my name called, and unfortunately I didn't get my name called. And it was a big letdown because, as I said, I would have killed to have gone and seen Happy Valley in that type of atmosphere. But I was talking to one of the guys after that game, and I guess Friday what they do is they travel and then they'll have meetings at night. And one of the DBs was telling me, I forget who exactly it was, but he said going into that game Friday night, we ended up changing the game plan because they said, if Anella's beating us every time, then we got to do something more to stop this guy from Penn State. So they ended up putting in a double team the night before the game to try to stop this guy, and they ended up doing pretty well against him. And I kind of took that as hopefully that was my preparation that helped them out. But so after that week was Michigan week, and again I had the same mentality. I said, you know what? I'll give anything to go to the Big House. I don't care if I'm standing on the sidelines. I don't care if I'm carrying water bottles. I just want to be out there and see the Big House and see what that place is all about. So again, we had been struggling. We lost that second game against Penn State, so we're 0-2. And I'll tell you what, if you can't get up for Michigan week, I don't know what's wrong with you. You got something. You got some issues. But I decided, you know what, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get these boys ready for this game because it's small the part as I play. It's still every little bit can help. So heading into that game, they also had a really good gunner for Michigan, and so what they were planning on doing, our game plan was to double him. And so again, they asked me, said, hey, we're going to put you there. And I said, absolutely, I'm excited about that. And so I went out there on Tuesday's practice. What we do is on Tuesdays that year, we do punt and punt return. Wednesdays would be kickoff and kickoff return, and then Thursdays we come back and do them all over again. And so Tuesday was the day that I was going to be the gunner, the scout team gunner, going against a double team. And I had a really good day Tuesday. I ended up beating the double team, I think all but maybe one time. And so it was going really well. And so going into Thursday's practice again, we went through all the special teams. So again, I got a shot to go against the double team. And the first 3 reps, I ended up winning every time on scout team punt. And so on that third rep, I'll never forget, I was jogging back. It was outside. Still, the weather was still pretty nice. Jogging back, and all of a sudden I hear Coach Weiss yell, "Where the hell's Anello at?" And I was just like, oh no, what did I do? And I mean, I know it's a Thursday practice, but come on. And so I'm jogging back, and I was like, right here, Coach. He goes, you know what? Get back on this line, because you're traveling to Michigan this week, and you might be running down this damn field. And I remember just looking at him, and I just going straight back up to that line and getting on the line and doing another rep and just thinking, this is incredible. I'm going to get my shot to travel to the Big House. And I thought, he's just trying to make an example. There's no way he's going to let, a walk-on, a 5'0" kid from south side of Chicago just walk on, be running down the field against the Wolverines. So I left that day just excited as heck and told my parents, I was like, hey, you guys got to come out. We're going to be traveling to the Michigan game. And I went in early on Friday just to watch some films thinking, hey, if I get my shot, I want to be ready, because I always watch film. It was kind of weird throughout the season, through Georgia Tech and Penn State, just in case. But the Michigan game, I went in to watch even more film that Friday early, and they have the depth charts posted in our locker room. I'll never forget walking in and just seeing Mike Anello at the top of the depth chart. It still gives me cold chills thinking about right now. But I looked up and I saw Mike Anello at the top, and they always highlight the changes they've made in yellow, and I literally stared for about 2 or 3 minutes at it, just thinking, is this real? Am I at the top? Is this just something they're doing for today? And so I literally jumped on the phone with my parents, and I said, my dad was in a meeting actually, and I said, Dad, look, do not tell anyone. I'm just telling you and Mom right now. I'm not even telling Nick and Chris, but do not tell anyone. I don't know what's going on, but just make sure that you guys make it out to this game. And so I went in, watched a whole bunch of film, really felt comfortable against the Vicers that they were going to put. And the Vicers are the ones who try to stop the Gunners from getting to the punt returner. So I remember just going into meetings, and then we go through special teams on Friday, and again they said, hey, Anello, you're going to be here, and you're going to be you're our number one guy. And so we go out and we go through a walkthrough for special teams, and again I was number one going out there, and I was just like, when is this fairy tale going to end? They're definitely going to have to get some cold feet and pull me out. And so they didn't. We traveled up to Michigan, and that night I called up my brothers and I said, hey, my one brother was still in college, and I said, if you can find a way to get out to this game, it would mean the world to me. And my other brother, I told the same thing. I forget, he had I think he was going out of town that weekend, but I just said, hey, if you could make it out to this game, this might be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I might only get one shot depending on how I do, and I'm not even positive I'm going to get that shot, but you might want to make it out to this game. So everyone ended up making it out to the game, and it was an awesome experience. And so Saturday came, and again, we go through the depth charts, we go through special teams again in the morning before the game, and I was literally on pins and needles thinking, hey, when are they going to take me off? When is it going to be my time to finally have, like I said, the dream end? And so one of the things they had to do is they changed my number because the punter, Most, and I both had 43, and we couldn't both be on the field with the same number. So I got 36 randomly for that number, and you'll see in the clips I'm 36. And I told him, I was like, you know what, I don't care what number I am. As long as I'm running down that field, whatever. I'll take 00 if you want me to.